And so there's three components really to market research, three main components. You've got your local market data or your target market data, however you want to call it, general industry data, and then you have your competitive analysis. These are really three components that you can't overlook, these three. There may be other components you should add in depending on exactly what your model is going to be, but these are three that you absolutely have to have. And you have to go deep on each of these. And then you have to align the data across each of the components, right? And when you do, it can get pretty exciting. When you start doing all this data research and you kind of start poking around, okay, I want to open a gym in Boise, Idaho, or wherever it is, right? And you do competitive analysis and you look at the industry data, you look at the market data, and all of it kind of lines up. It's like, whoa, eureka, right? That's that eureka moment. Like, this just might work. I might have something here. And if that's the case, it's like, all right, now time to start business planning and quantify how much of that market you can capture or how much of that new market you can create, and how are you going to create it or how are you going to capture that market. So you really want to try and be in that red circle. If we pulled industry data out and it was completely by itself, or your competitive analysis didn't line up, all of a sudden it gets a little trickier. Doesn't mean you can't thread the needle. You can imagine, though, it's just a lot easier to thread the needle when these three key components are pretty well aligned. So now we're going to talk about the actual methodology, some details around these things. So I want to talk real quickly before we dive into these details of industry data, competitive analysis, local market data. It's really important to have an open mind as you go into this. And it can be just as valuable to have your idea invalidated as it can be to have your idea validated. And I say that because I've been in scenarios where gym owners or gym leaders have had this idea, whether it's for a program or we're going to go into a new market, and they just find that confirmation bias that just leads them to an agreeable decision of like, yes, opening a gym in Cleveland, Ohio is going to be a brilliant move, right? And they didn't remain open to also having their idea invalidated. And we can be talking about 7-figure mistakes, 6-figure mistakes, 8-figure mistakes. So be very open to also having your idea invalidated. Don't only chase the data that's going to confirm what you want to believe. Chase the data that may invalidate what you believe. And I think in particularly when you're talking about staking some of your own money or your family money, or, a second mortgage on your house, or going in with investors, or taking out an SBA loan, you'd much rather be wrong than wrong and keep going, right? So just be open to invalidating your idea as well.